We're going to find out if this fully built Land Cruiser is better than a Wrangler. I'll include a link to the Toyota Murray's website in the description down below. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Powering this is a very reliable 5.7 liter V8 putting out 381 horsepower, 401 pound-feet of torque, and this goes through an 8-speed automatic. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Now up top, we've got the roof rack. I'll show other angles, but you've got a light bar integrated to the front. We've got this aftermarket bumper with rigid lights added to it. It also has a winch, super winch, interesting. And this whole bumper setup definitely improves the front end approach angle by a pretty large margin. Now obviously you do have to cut up the stock front end quite a bit to make this bumper work, but it does give the 200 series a significantly more aggressive appearance. Now our tire wheel setup is 285 by 70 by 17, which is the same setup that you have on a Wrangler Rubicon. Now not the same tires and everything, but just the tire and wheel size. When it comes to suspension, it looks like this is rocking the Old Man Emu. This will be my first time testing this on a 200 series, so see how that goes. But with that suspension and those larger tires, it definitely gives this a much more aggressive stance. Now this is a roof rack from Descent Off-Road. You can see the grab handle there too. And if that wasn't enough, just like a Jeep, you've got the spare tire mounted on the back. And this is pretty common on Toyota builds that go this crazy. You've got swing outs attached to the bumper here. One has nothing on it, the other one has the spare tire mounted to it. That's going to clear up space underneath if you wanted to add a fuel tank, or if you just want to improve the departure angle, and you know, kind of looks cool. And this is a 2021 200 series, so this has the last version of this interior with the cool partially analog gauge cluster. You get the larger screen there as well, and I wonder if this actually has a cool box. Yeah, this has a cool box center console. Only a center diff lock with this generation of Land Cruiser. But anyways, let's take this out and see how it performs. Time to see how this 200 series performs. Now, I do want to mention the price tag of these 200 series. This one's like over 80 grand. 200 series. They're expensive. I've had some people tell me they think that 200 series are going to be inexpensive in the future. I just don't ever see that happening personally. The reason I don't see that happening is just down to the fact that they didn't make that many. Jeez, that was out of nowhere. Anyways, they didn't make that many 200 series. And on top of not building that many of them, the new Toyotas are all turbocharged, and so like this has a V8 naturally aspirated, low production. They're always going to be expensive. I wish that wasn't the case, honestly, but they're always going to be expensive. Now when it comes to acceleration, this can move 33s just fine. It's not a rocket ship, but it's more than enough power, and it's very smooth power as well. So power delivery, not a problem. And this is one of the things that I love about the 200 series is the power delivery. And you know, I have my Heritage Edition. It's much more stock than this, but yeah, I love that smooth power delivery. It's great. I'm really impressed with this suspension. Now, one thing to know, the 200 series has really good suspension from the factory. And so when you modify it, it's like you're taking a really good base and adding to it. And so it's like, you can mess it up, obviously, but you're starting with such a good base that it's kind of hard to mess it up a massive amount, but it's definitely possible. This isn't quite as comfortable as stock. It feels a little bit bumpier, and I wonder if you lose a little bit of down travel, because it's independent front suspension. It's kind of hard to not lose down travel with independent front suspension. It's not bad though, still more than comfortable enough. The steering almost feels a little bit more isolated. Like it's still a heavier, still a hydraulic rack, but it almost feels like there's less kickback than a stock Land Cruiser, interestingly enough. Still a bit. Not bad at all. And there is extra weight from all the stuff added to it, the bumpers and everything, but again, this has decent payload. It's well over 1,000 pounds. So you got the payload for it. And like I said, you got the engine power for it. I can fully understand why someone would build out a 200 series like this, because this is really nice. It is just, I'm doing like another loop for you guys, sorry. I'm trying to get like a good feel for it. I don't have time to do the full loop. Yeah, this is great. It feels like a nice stock plus in terms of the driving dynamics. I don't really feel like I'm conceding a bunch with this. Steering is a little bit off, it seems like. Again, that's one downside when you modify. It's kind of hard to keep everything within stock geometry and all that. It still has the kind of floaty side to side body roll that you expect with the 200 series. That's one of the biggest differences between a 200 and the new stuff. The new stuff is quite a bit tighter with the handling. This thing's great though. You know, I don't ever plan on going this crazy with my 200 series because it's a Heritage Edition and it's also expensive to do this. But this kind of makes me think that, you know, I was wondering, does it make more sense to get the new Lexus LX and put this kind of build on that, or to do it with the 200 series? I almost lean towards the 200 series because just the comfort that this provides, the V8 torque, no wonder. Like, why is the fan speed going so high? Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I like this, and I feel like it's the perfect mix of digital and analog with the infotainment system, with the screen here in the center, where but then you've got the analog gauges. I don't know. It's a really nice balance. It doesn't have diff locks front and rear, which is a little bit of a downside, but they make air lockers for these 200 series, so you can easily do that. And I mean, this feels like a much more of a truck than the new 250. 250 is a Prado, but like, yeah, completely different world. So what do you guys think about this 200 series build? I think this is pretty cool. Probably would never do this to my Heritage Edition, but you know, maybe like down the road, once 200 series get cheaper and, you know, higher mileage on some, maybe I'll consider throwing some of this on like a used high mileage 200 series that I wouldn't feel as bad about beating up. But I just don't know. Like I said, I think these 200 series are always going to be expensive. Man, that is good, actually. That pop-up there, that was good. Yeah, I just think these are always going to be expensive. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you would rather build one of these, or if you would rather do it, because, you know, Descent has a bunch of stuff for the new Land Cruiser, the GX and the LX. Would you rather do it on one of the new Toyota product that has, like the LX has diff locks front and rear from the factory, the Prados have a rear diff lock from the factory, the Lexus has eKDSS, which is, you know, superior to this KDSS in terms of reaction time. So there's some benefits. Let me know your thoughts.